4 people are dead after a wave of shootings in Macon Saturday into the overnight hours of Sunday. In the past 24 hours, 9 people in total were reportedly shot across 5 separate incidents. Around 10:30 Saturday night, a 25-year-old man was shot on Florence Avenue. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Just after midnight, a second shooting on Key Street left 3 people injured, including a 7-year-old boy. About an hour later, a 17-year-old boy was shot along Holt Avenue and was also taken to the hospital. Then just after 3:30 Sunday morning, deputies responded to a shooting on Mosley Avenue where they found 3 men dead at the scene.
That's a lot of shootings. Within the time frame that they have up there, that's a lot of shootings. It's literally, almost a shooting, man. You know, the increments vary, but dang, from Saturday to Sunday. And if you
Shooting on
take a look
Mosley
here,
Avenue where they found 3 men dead at the scene. The majority of these incidents happening within a
look at that. Look at the radius of all these shootings. And it's Mercer University Drive. Um, could they be related? Who knows? But kind of strange for this type of thing to happen like in that close of a proximity within that type of time frame.
2-mile radius in West Macon, in neighborhoods off of Pionono Avenue and Mercer University Drive near Eisenhower Parkway. And today, a 5th shooting off of Dewey Street in South Bibb left a 55-year-old woman hospitalized. Investigators say the victim was in her car when shots rang out. She's currently in stable condition. The Bibb Sheriff's Office is investigating each of these cases. Hunter King shares what we know so far tonight.
A wave of violence swept through West Macon Saturday night into Sunday. The first shooting happened on Florence Avenue. 35-year-old Chavez Adams was shot and later died at the hospital, but that was just the beginning. After midnight, 3 people were shot on Key Street, including a 7-year-old boy. All 3 survived, and an hour and a half later, a 17-year-old was shot on Holt Avenue. He's expected to be okay. At 3:30 in the morning, deputies arrived at Mosley and Cedar Avenues and found 3 men dead. And now the most recent, a shooting near Pionono Avenue and Dewey Street just after 2:30 this afternoon, where a woman was shot in her car.
It breaks my heart because it's the same story. It takes a village to raise our children, and our village is scattered.
New Piney Grove Baptist Church sits just feet away from the triple homicide. And this morning, Pastor Scruggs stood before his congregation, including a member who had just lost her nephew in the violence, and said he was tired of telling the same story.
And now,
Yeah, of course you're gonna be tired of telling the same story when the same stuff is always happening. And this is out in Arizona. So, just highlighting the fact that this type of violence is really happening everywhere from the East Coast to the West Coast and, up north, down south. So it's happening everywhere. And it's just, like I said, it's just real wild that, 9 people shot within 24 hours in this area. So, could these be related? They could, or more than likely they're not related, but I wouldn't be shocked if they were. Of course, more information will have to be, discovered. And it definitely takes time for detectives to discover information. Not a lot of people are going to want to speak to detectives and let them know certain stuff. A lot of times, even if it's, family that they know who were a victim of these shootings, more than likely not going to talk to detectives. And that's how stuff, definitely go unsolved, and, how these crimes continue to happen. And, yeah, it's just very, very tragic, that, people either shot and maybe in the hospital, maybe in critical condition, or, actually lost their lives.
now we're in 2026, and I'm seeing the same thing. And consequently, it has gotten worse. And I don't know when it's going to stop.
Pastor Emeritus Dave Wilcoxon has been rooted in this neighborhood for more than 30 years. He said the community had worked hard in recent years to push back against the violence, which made last night feel like a gut punch.
Pastor was quite disturbed. He was hurt. He made mention that he did not want to lose another young man to the streets.
We need to be not a gatekeeper, but a gateway. And so we have to open up our doors, and we have to make a difference in the lives of these children.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says its violent crime unit is investigating the shootings. No suspects have been named in any of the 5 shootings. Reporting in Macon, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
And what's wild to me is that they're more than likely not have any suspects, unless they do the ballistics reports and trace back the bullets and stuff like that, and try to find the origin, the purchase, and things of that nature. But you know seems like this area definitely has a history of violence, or you know of course gangs are going to be everywhere, or street type of activity is going to be everywhere. So with that type of activity, of course, we know violence is going to come with that, because you're dealing with, money, drugs, territory, people who have disagreements, people who are enemies of each other, and, those type of things, you know, end up boiling over into gun violence, people getting shot or people getting killed. Because a lot of people feel like you definitely got to take others off the board before you're getting taken off the board. So you guys got to put yourself in the mindset that these type of things are going to happen, and they're happening all across America. Um, it's just really one of those things, and it's just crazy because after all these years of seeing this type of stuff, man, you kind of just feel like it's normal. And I mean, of course, that's not the way that you want to feel, that this type of thing is normal, but it's just happening so much and so often. So hopefully we get a little bit more insight on what's going on. Of course, no victims' names were released. Of course, they don't have any suspects. Those people are more than likely long gone into the wind. Um, but yeah, just try to highlight this because it's unusual to see this type of violence within a 24-hour span. And there was a child, a 7-year-old that was also shot. 55-year-old woman. It's the age ranges. It's really no age that's safe from this type of stuff. But if you are from that area, or if you have anything that you want to say, just make sure that you comment on the video. Make sure that you like the video to get this video into the algorithm, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Closing this one out, everyone. This is Justin Paul. Peace.